Words can certainly hurt people. In fact, words can hurt people more than physical abuse.
Words can hurt. Who hasn't seen that words can hurt?
I think it depends on the types of words people use. Some could be funny, some could be mean. Depends on your, how the person receives it.
I can actually tell you not a lot gets to me by words.
Words can definitely hurt people.
Is it true that sticks and stones will break my bones and names will never harm me? It's a way kids used to brush off somebody who was insulting them. But it's not true. It never hurt anybody. Never say a bad word, even if it's not in front of them. In Judaism we say that's Lashon Hara, that's a counter, it's against it's a transgression of one of the... It's like eating pig, it's worse than eating pig. And that's because it makes you a low life. You're feeding on the wounds of others, on the baseness of others. It brings your values of life down. It makes you despise human beings because you're looking at their low... You should see every human being as precious. But more important, if you hurt someone, it's just like hitting them in the head. It's hurting people is much worse in words than physically, because in words it can destroy your life. Physically, it'll get better. But a bad word can harm a kid forever. A bad word can make somebody doubt himself for the rest of his life.
I know this girl that's she's 17 today, and her whole life, she was an adopted child. Her whole life her parents told her that she's going to fail, and she really failed, and today she's in the streets.
Once an ex-boyfriend that I went out with for a long time told me that he never really liked me, and that kind of crushed me.
Some kids in my 5th grade class called me different names, and it hurt.
I used to have a friend who was a little bit overweight, and people would always make fun of her and tell her how fat she was, and she stopped eating and she got really, really sick. And eventually, she just got to a point that she was very unhealthy, and later on in her life she tried to have children and she wasn't able to.
Once a friend hurt me. They wanted me to be someone that I wasn't. They told me that I should be like them. And they didn't appreciate me for who I was.
I was really fat that people used to call me names such as Blobby and Yokozuna, who was a sumo wrestler, and things like that. I became insecure.
But I had a chemistry teacher who told me that I'd never be able to make it as a doctor when I asked him. And so I ended up a teacher. I'm a very happy teacher, actually. I love working with students. But that really hurt me. He failed.